Hey everyone, Jump Rope Warriors, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I will be addressing a great question that I received from a viewer named Kata, who asked, so maybe you at home can relate to this viewer who is experiencing shin pain or shin splints when they do the jump rope run or the jump rope jog in place, the alternate step, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So in this video, first I'm going to share some exercises which you can do to strengthen this part of the leg. Because if that part of the leg is strong, that can go a long way to even preventing getting shin splints in the first place. And then of course we're going to address jump rope technique. With proper technique and strong lower legs here, that can help prevent getting shin splints, and if you do get them, reduce the chances of getting them again in the future. So first, a few exercises which you can do. One which I've talked about in a previous video is toe taps. Now first, the shin bone called the tibia, next to it is the fibula, and on top of that there's a muscle called the tibialis anterior. I don't know if you can see there, a muscle that sticks up here when I raise my foot up like that. And the way my foot is raised up like that, that is called dorsiflexion. The opposite when you point it down is called plantar flexion. And when we move our foot up like that, imagine you're bringing your toes towards your shin bone, that engages the tibialis anterior. And that muscle is what we really want to focus on to help reduce shin splints. So what you can do is simply raise your feet up and down like so, and you can do this while you're sitting down or standing. So that will engage the tibialis anterior. And then what you can do is gently tap the ground. So raise your feet up and then gently tap the ground. You don't have to tap the ground too hard. Do this repeatedly, and very soon I'm already starting to feel a little bit of a burn there, a little bit of fatigue. So you can push past that tension a little bit and then stop. You can rest for a few seconds, maybe a minute, and repeat that. So that's an exercise which you can do several times a week, even maybe when you're watching TV or using your computer, or throw it in before a jump rope workout or afterwards. Another thing you can do, if you have access to a weight like this, an ankle weight or a wrist weight, is to put it on your foot and then raise your foot up and down. So same motion without the tapping of the ground. And you can even hold that in place. Hold the weight in place. You can do partial reps, partial movements, just raising my foot up and down a couple inches, or full range of motion. So that really engages the tibialis anterior. So if you have access to weight like this, fantastic. But if you don't have a weight, that's okay. Another thing which you can do is take your hand, for example, and I want you to go into dorsiflexion. Try to raise the toes of your feet up to your shin bone. But what you're going to do with your hand is you're going to apply some resistance. You're going to push your hand down towards the ground while your foot is moving in the opposite direction, like so. So my hand is pushing down while my foot is trying to raise up, and that is really engaging the tibialis anterior. Ooh, I can really feel the burn. So I'm pushing down, not too much pressure. You can vary the pressure that you place down on the foot. And you can even let go, do a few repetitions without any pressure from the hand before applying the hand pressure again. So those are a few simple exercises which you can do a couple times a week to strengthen the tibialis anterior. When that's strong, that can really help reduce shin splints. Okay, now let's talk about jump rope technique. I'm going to reverse the camera around. My body's actually a little bit sore today. I did a virtual half marathon yesterday, but after a workout like that, I like to do a little bit of exercise the following day. It kind of helps to loosen up the body, nice to get the blood and oxygen flowing around. Almost a little bit counterintuitive. You think when you're in pain, it's a good idea to rest, but actually moving around can help the recovery process. At least that's what I find. Anyways, the jog step. I just want you to notice something. I'm not going to be using the rope here for a minute. So this is basically the jog step motion, and I want you to listen to this. So you see how I'm stepping on the ground now? Okay, what do you hear? Not too much. How about now? So even though my feet were basically leaving the ground at around the same height, there's a great difference in terms of noise level. The first way, very quiet, very low impact on the ground. In contrast, similarly, if I'm raising my legs higher off the ground, again, much difference in terms of noise level. Now watch this. Contrast that with this. Okay, huge difference in noise level and impact on my body. So when we're jumping rope, when we're doing the jog step or any other move for that matter, we want to land on the ground with as little impact as possible. Our toes and the balls of our feet are our body's natural springs and shock absorbers. Imagine you're like a cat or a ninja that moves around quickly. I'm trying to stay light and gentle on my feet. I'm trying to spread the load across my feet nice and quietly. I'm not smacking the ground. A lot of people, when they're new to jumping rope, they might, for example, hit the ground with a lot of impact, and that sends a lot of tension, shock throughout the body, up your legs and even into your spine. So we really want to avoid doing that. If you're hitting the ground really hard over and over, that can easily result in shin splints. A lot of runners experience shin splints because they're often smacking the ground, but you want to stay light on your feet. Use your feet, gently cushion the ground. Land gently. You want to have a slight bend in your knees. Stay light on your feet. That alone will go a long way to reducing shin splints. So when you're doing the run in place, nice and easy. You don't even need a rope to practice. You can even do a few single leg hops. Stay light on your feet. That will go a long way to preventing shin splints. Another thing, some people when they're doing the run in place, they will turn their feet inwards like so. Now some people can do this without experiencing any pain in their lower legs, but for a lot of people this will result in too much tension on the tibia or the tibialis anterior and the shin bones. Doing the jog step like that can place unnecessary stress on the lower leg and result in shin splints. As I said, some people can get away with it, but for most people, we want to avoid doing that. Instead, we want to try to keep our feet pointing relatively straight, even maybe at a slight outward angle like that. That can go a long way. Okay, now let's bring our jump rope into the mix. The jog step. Staying light on the toes and balls of my feet. I'm not lifting my feet too high off the ground. If we have our feet high off the ground, generally we'll land on the ground with a little bit more force, a little bit more impact. But still, as I said, even if you're raising your feet high off the ground, high leg raises for example, you can still land on the ground with little impact. Okay, so those three things can go a long way to preventing shin splints. I'm going to share with you a fourth right now, but those three things, just to review: one, do some exercises to strengthen that lower part of your leg. Two, when you are jumping, use the toes and balls of your feet to cushion your landing. We don't want to smack the ground. Try to stay light on your feet. Imagine you're a ninja or a cat. Three, try to keep your feet pointing relatively forward or even slightly out as opposed to inwardly. And another thing, I'll include the jump rope in the mix now in a second, your body alignment. When you're jumping rope, you want to try to keep your joints in alignment. You don't want your head moving too far forward, sideways, leaning back. That'll put too much unnecessary pressure on your spine. That carries through your body. You want your shoulders, your hips to be relatively square, straight, as opposed to, you don't want to be bending over, you want you to be rotated. That again will place unnecessary stress on your body, which will be felt throughout your body, down to your legs. You don't want to bend over too much when you jump rope. You want your body to work for you, not against you. Keep your joints in alignment. When you're landing on the ground, your feet will land close to under your knees. Have a slight bend in your knee to help absorb shock impact. Your ankles, your hips, shoulders will be in alignment. Your head, remember, you don't want your head pulling forward. That'll get everything out of alignment. So the jog step, all the while trying to keep good body alignment. My neck and spine are in good alignment. My hips, my feet are landing under my knees. This goes a long way to taking or putting any unnecessary stress on your joints. Trying to keep your body in alignment, that will go a long way to preventing not just shin splints, lower leg injuries, but any injuries. Body alignment. Let your body work for you rather than against you. All right, well, I really hope Kata and any other viewers who are suffering with a similar problem find this video helpful. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope to see you all again soon.